Okay, guys, so real briefly, I just want to talk about positivity, the being positive versus being balanced. Okay, now I have no problem with positive energy. I like positive energy. I meditate on positive energy. I meditate on love energy. I definitely make sure that I have those type of energies within me. So I'm not going to talk down about positive energy, okay? But what I do want to say is that it's definitely good to be balanced, because one, you cannot ignore other emotions that might come. Just for example, I went through something over the weekend, and as much as you might just want to stay positive, sometimes you have to experience other emotions that you have too, right? You have to experience other emotions you have too. You have to accept that those emotions exist as well. But, don't stay on the low part forever. But be careful with staying at the high part forever, because balance is important, especially on this on the planet called Earth. Um, Now, if you existed, I'm just saying, I know it. I know this other types of planets exist because I've already visited them. Um, I'm one of those people that I can leave the planet, not in my physical body, but I've left outside of my physical body, and I've visited other places. So I know that's something that's a little spooky, but I mean, I can't lie about what I've been through. I mean, I guess people just have to say it's not real, but I can't lie about my experiences. I'm able, to leave the planet, not so much at will. Um, I can't do it at will though. But I have left. I've gone to different star systems. But I'm sorry, I'm getting off. I do this because I don't write anything down. I don't prepare like that. Okay. So yeah, it's other planets that exist, right? Maybe other star systems that exist, which is really a doggone planet. Okay. um, that's full of nothing but love, positivity, and joy, right? It's other ones that exist that don't have anything else but that type of those type of frequencies, those type of the joy and the love. Okay, so when you're on that kind of planet, right? Then yeah, just stay on the positivity, just stay on the love, just because you can't go down, because those nothing else exists on that kind of planet, right? But see, on Earth, you have the highs and you have the lows, okay? So you can't just run to the highs and then act like the lows are not there, because life is not going to be perfect every day. Earth, unfortunately, and I left an earlier video talking about that, about this. Earth, unfortunately, is being run more and more and more by darkness. Now, you do have some people who reside on Earth that might not see this, but they're living in such an area that is so country, and they probably don't even use cell phones. That they're not going to be bothered, but you never know if they eventually will. Okay, like a lot of people that's off grid, right? Well, yeah, they might not be bothered, but at the same time, they have to come into the city sometimes to do the things they need to do. So they can't completely escape, civilization. They can't completely escape darkness when you have to come into you can live off grid, and I prefer to live in the kind of country areas myself, but you still have to come around people to do things you need to do, and it could be in the city, okay? But I want to talk about how I said in my last audio that Earth is just really, 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 really being covered by darkness. It's really being covered by darkness. One person was talking about how I left it in my other audio too, about how she said that 85%. 85 to 90% of the celebrities, their souls are dark, and you got 10 to 15% who are of the light. And the same thing with just society as a period. 80 to 85% or maybe 90% have dark souls, and then you have a few that are light, right? And so, with that being said, this planet is covered by too much darkness, and you got to be careful not to just accept all emotions and just remain balanced. The key, I had to learn that it's best to be balanced, it's best to be centered than to constantly trying to stay on the positivity and joy. And because then if life happens, then you're gonna try to act like the emotion's not there. I tried my best to not get into any other kind of emotions. It does not work like that. Now, the reason why I tried not to get into other emotions is not because I'm trying to be all love and light. It's because I have family members that are very nasty and they practice dark arts. And I have to make sure that I do have to make sure I stay in a certain type of frequency or stay balanced to make sure that they stay off my back. So it's really because of the family members who are very, very evil. The reason why I have to be very careful with, my emotions. But other than that, if you don't have evil family that, practice stuff on you, then it's best to allow yourself to experience those emotions, but don't stay there for too long, because now you're going on one end extreme. Okay, you at the high extreme and you're at the low extreme. You don't want to stay at the low extreme either. You want to be balanced, because if you're too high and you try to ignore those emotions, in church, and I'm not going to hop on church, but what I'm going to say is a love and light community does the same thing that church has done. Church has told people that you're too blessed to be stressed, and that you don't have faith in a certain particular deity if you're dealing with stress. The love and light community tells you that you need to stay positive all the time. You see, both messages are not allowing you to explore the whole range of emotions. They're telling you to stay on one side, and that's not good, because those other emotions are going to creep up on you, and you're going to have a hard fall, a very hard fall, if you don't allow yourself to experience other emotions and not get into all this stuff about only staying positive. Okay, now I want to talk about something else right quick. People who give the messages saying that people who give these messages talking about, well, if you do good, then good will come to you. And so it's people like, I hear it a lot, but the last time I heard it was a person on YouTube who has a nice following. It's a young lady, lady of color. And she has like over 2 million followers, subscribers. And I mean, I get what she's trying to say, but she's saying, when you do good, good come to you. When you do right by people, see, the reason I don't care for those messages is because just because it worked for her does not mean it works for everybody. I'm just going to be very honest. My family is into voodoo. They into Masonic organizations, Eastern Star, and those people that's into those type of organizations, they do use sacrifices. They are handlers. My family were handlers. My brother and a mother, they were handlers. They were evil, and they do stuff against me because they were part of these organizations. And so my life is not necessarily as easy. Me just doing good is not going to get me away from these doggone evil doggone people. It's going to take some work in the spiritual realm to get them. It's not going to be calling the police. I can't call the police. I can't sue them. They doing stuff spiritually. I can't talk to nobody in the mundane world about physical stuff, and they doing stuff that's spiritual and trying to cause things to happen. But and so I don't like it when people say things like that, because her life, just because it worked for her doesn't mean when you do good things come to you. That's to say that the people who have not experienced a lot of good things in their life is because they were not good people. See, with billions of people on the world, I can't stand those kind of comments. I don't think she meant any harm by that, but it's sickening to me. And I'm not upset with her, but those type of comments are very sickening, and I can't take those kind of people very seriously. Now, I will watch what they do, because she got where she is some kind of way, and she didn't get to exactly where she is by love and light. Now, she might say that she does. I'm going to tell you, this person that I see in the spiritual realm that I'm talking about, they'll say when you do good, good come to you, and you have to stay positive and love and all this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with her religion. I'm not against anybody's religion. Everybody have religion, When I went to India, a lot of people would practice Hinduism. So, I mean, I don't have anything against people's religion. If that's what they choose, if that's what they feel like works for them, that's their right. I will say this, though. When I went to India and people practiced Hinduism, they didn't push their Hinduism on me. They didn't tell me that my life is going to suck because I'm not praying to Sri Lakshmi for money. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying that my life is not going to go right because I'm not praying to Ganesha. You know what I'm saying? So other people practice their religions, but they're not forcing their beliefs on other people because they know that everything doesn't work for everybody. But for some reason, people who are deep into religions like Christianity, and not even just religions like Christianity, I believe the love and light community and that light worker community, I feel like they are the new age Christians. I do feel like that. I'm not against that, but both people, whether they practice Christianity in the light worker new age community, they give the similar message. So, you know, like this person talking about you put God first and then everything will work out. Well, everybody have their own interpretation of God, and so the God of the Bible is not the one that, you know. And so what I don't like is that I don't have any problem with people saying it worked for them. I don't have a problem with that. But when they put that on 8 billion, how many billion people in the world? When they put that kind of message on 8 billion people, I don't like it. I don't like it when they do that. It's no way in heck that you can just say because it worked for you that it's going to work for like 8 to 10 billion people in the world. And if it does not work out, then you're going to say that they did something wrong. And I don't like that because they're ignoring the fact that really it's a lot of evil in the world. That they're ignoring that fact because they're so focused on trying to be positive, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. They say out their mouth they give these positive type of things because they could be trying to attract a certain type of audience, and so they want to act positive all the time. But that's not balanced. I'm telling you, that's how they look on camera. But you don't know the things that they have to do to get to where they are. Like I said, let me go back to what I saw about this young lady in the spiritual. I don't try to see these things. And I mean, to the point where, see my video talking about hastily praying can be dangerous. I saw something in the spiritual realm about this lady. I didn't pray at all. I said, because sometimes I just see things because maybe I just have that gift, but it does not mean for me to pray for them. Because, you know, some people you just don't pray for. Don't just pray for folks like that. If it's not a higher source that's telling you to pray for them, do not pray for them. You will get yourself killed. Okay? That's real talk. That's not that positivity false mess. That is real talk. And so this lady I saw in the spiritual realm, I saw her look like a lower version of her. And then I saw her again, a vision of her again, and she was wearing black lipstick. Now you see her on TV, on the camera, she's not wearing black lipstick. But I saw her in the spiritual realm, she was wearing black lipstick. What does that mean? Because the lipstick is on her mouth. The lipstick is on her mouth. So what is it saying that the stuff that she's saying on camera is not really real? I mean, what is that? I'm pretty sure that a lot of it is she's being herself. But see, I'm not going to get into criticizing whatever choice this lady made in her life. Because to be honest with you, I made it clear about my understanding of what's on earth. And the majority is evil, right? Earth is almost 100% ran by darkness. So I don't have a problem with this girl. Lady might have probably stepped on somebody's toes to get to where she is. I don't have an issue with that. See, I'm not even going to judge that. I have an issue with people saying if you do good, good come to you. I saw this lady in a vision and her lips were black. Why are her lips black? Like she had on black lipstick. She doesn't wear that on you. I've never seen this lady on camera wearing black lipstick, but then I see her in a vision with black lipstick. Does that mean that she is not who she... It has something to do with the words that come out of her mouth. That has to symbolize something with the words that she says. And so, like I said, that's why I can't stand that message. I don't have a problem if she had to do some things to get to where she is. I mean, the world is being covered by darkness. If you do choose to stay on this earth, and what I mean by choosing, I don't mean if you want to leave, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to die. But you're going to have to do some work to get to another place, and then you can, you know, we're vibrational beings. So you don't have to just die off the planet. But what I'm saying is, if you choose to stay on this earth, it's going to be covered by darkness. It's not going to get better. Okay, it's not going to get better. No outside deities are going to come and save anybody. That's just my opinion. No, I'm not gonna just have people believe what I say. Just in my opinion, no outside deities are going to come and save anybody. Okay, not Dark Mother, not no other deities, not Lakshmi, not Ganesh, not Allah. Nothing outside of yourself. It just, in my opinion, is really going to save you. Okay, just in my opinion. And so what I don't appreciate about people like her, because I've heard people do this before, is that they say these type of things that when you do good, good come to you. You know, let me tell you about a person, people, we all know this about YouTube channels, right? When you are a person that that is more of a light soul. Let me say it like this, more of a light soul. I'm explaining it like when this lady explained it, because she did a good job to me. If you are a person who don't really have a dark soul, you have more of a light soul, it's hard for your channel to grow. She said that on YouTube. She said it's hard to get views. It's hard for your channel to grow. Now, it's a lot of people that talk about the light and talk about positive stuff, like this young lady. Talk about, but their souls might not be as light as you think it is. And so you see their channels growing. It's because the darkness is attracted to darkness. This is how she explained it. So I want to say how she explained it. The darkness is attracted to darkness. So you see these people that appear to be so positive and their channels grow like crazy. They might not be as light and fluffy as you think they are. Okay? Especially when darkness is attracted to them. Okay? A lot of people who are truly light souls, it's hard for their channels to grow. It's hard for them to get anywhere in the industries. It's just really hard for them to get ahead, right? So that's what I'm saying, is this whole thing about when you do good, good comes to you is a lie. And I don't respect that message. I don't respect it, because you too on a positive extreme. These people, these love and light people want to stay on the extreme positive. But the love and light people that like to preach that message don't believe what they're saying. Because for a lot of them, for them to get to where they are, they had to do some things that wasn't so love and light, right? They had to do some things that might not have been so love and light. They had to sometimes they had to drop their morals to get where they are. They couldn't have all these morals. They couldn't be so self-righteous. And so that's why I don't respect a message like that. I don't respect a message like that where they say you do good and good come to you. Now, it's not to say that you want to just go around hurting people either. So this is when I talk about being balanced. This is why the message, it has to be balanced, because you don't want to go around killing people and all that stuff either. Okay, some people go around being a serial killer and get away with it, and some people just can't get away with it. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, balance in the message. Okay, you try to do good, but at the same time, it's getting to a point where you have to get more into self-preservation. And me personally, I don't have a lot of energy to put on people who can't reciprocate back to me. Now, it's good to do good for people every now and then and not expect nothing back. But at some point, if I don't have a whole lot of being poured into me, if I don't have a whole lot, and I'm talking about from human beings or people that look like they're in physical bodies, okay, I feel like I have support on the spiritual realm. But the human support is not there, okay? The human support is not there. And so I don't have a whole lot to pour into other people if I cannot get it back, because that puts me in a deficit if I'm constantly pouring into other folks. So I can't constantly do good and do good and do good and do good, because good don't always come to you. Good don't always come back to you. You got to be careful of preserving yourself. And that's what these love and light folks that's why I don't respect that message when they say things like that, because they don't talk about self-preservation. They keep telling you to do good to people. They keep telling you, like, if somebody need money, and give your last. Okay, even though you got bills to pay, give your last, and now you got to figure out how that, you got to have faith that the money's going to come back. Why would you have faith? Did any higher source tell you to give your money away? Why would you have faith it's going to come back to you if no higher source told you to give your money away in the first place? What kind of faith are you having? Okay, when you chose just to be self-righteous based on society. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. I'm going to end here, but I want to just talk about being positive versus being balanced. Okay, and that'll be it.